Da-da-da-da, Manscaped. You know, the leaders in below the waistline grooming. You know, the people that make sure your dangly twins are always, fried up, ready to roll in, aerodynamic, smooth like a baby's bottom. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we told you on the last episode, but just in case you did not catch that, they got new heat. I'm talking 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioners. We talk about that all the time. You got your locks flowing out.
Oh, yeah. You see that? Some curls.
It looks good, man. Curls for the girls. We know how I roll, baby. But with that, the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner keeps that thing extra beautiful, perky, and bouncing like it's supposed to. But they also got the body wash. Shout out to the new body wash as well, because there's no point in having great hair that's, shampooed and conditioned if your body is reeking. So you want to make sure you're using that body wash and get those delicate twins that you've already manscaped with the Lawnmower 4.0, since it is waterproof. I mean, you just right in the shower, just pop, one-stop shop. You can't go wrong there. But more importantly, if we're going to talk about it, what we always say when we're going to talk about something, man?
We always have something good for the audience.
Got to have something for the audience, man. And today is by way of a promo code. Promo code is MOATS. Use that at your, checkout, 20% off, along with free shipping worldwide. So when we talk about people over in London and over, in Mexico, Canada, wherever you at, don't worry about it, baby. Just use the promo code MOATS and that shipping is taken care of. So with that being said, shout out to Manscaped. Hopping right into this thing, man, with this game preview, because we've noticed at times, we start doing the preview and we wait a little bit longer before it's like 4 hours in this thing. So we say, we gonna make sure we wrap it up, keep it nice and condensed so we can still get your chats and your questions in here along with doing our breakdown, baby. So that's how we going to rule. But Steelers, Lions. Usually start with what we like about them, what we don't like about them.
Yeah.
How about we start with what we don't like about them first?
Okay.
Because I feel like we always start with what we like about them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What don't we like about the Detroit Lions? And y'all let us know in the chat as well. 3 things that you all do not like about the Detroit Lions.
You want me to start?
Yeah. We go one. You go one. I go one. You go one. I go one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
I don't know if this one's a stretch, but this is like the instant thing that comes to mind no matter who's there as a coach, who's there as players. The organization is just a perennial dumpster fire.
Yep.
So no matter who they bring in, it's kind of like Cleveland over the past 20, 25 years. It's always tough sledding.
Yeah.
No matter how good of a coach you are. I mean, even Bill Belichick struggled at points up in Cleveland. He almost brought them back in the 90s, but still, even he couldn't overcome the Browns at the time. So I feel the same way about the Lions. It's just they're almost cursed in a way. I don't know how long that's going to last, but with how they're run, I just don't think good things are happening for them. So that's number one, really. It's just the Lions, the brand, the organization, not good. I don't think it's something to like.
For me, man, I got to start with the quarterback. Jared Goff, to me, he leaves a lot to be desired. At times he flashes, but it's just not consistent enough. And then you also, you watch him and kind of question his competitiveness and toughness at times as well, man. Just looking at his body language, some of the throws that he's making in terms of when he wants to just get rid of the ball before even thinking of holding and extending plays and stuff like that. To me, I'm just like, not the fan of that right there, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually with you. I had him as my third. My second is personnel, literally just across the whole board. I don't really think they have any good players.
Board,
outside of maybe some of the names I will say whenever we talk about top three things we like, but even at that, it's not something I'm like head over heels about. Like whenever we talk about Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, oh man, he's like one of the best in the league. Like these guys that we're going to talk about, it's like almost a stretch, really.
I understand what you're saying. In all seriousness, man.
So
and it's not even saying it like in a way to like slight them, but it's just not every team has multiple like NFL stars. You know what I mean? Like teams have good players. Every team is going to have good players. But when you talk about like star level players, your Minkas, your TJs, Cams, like
they don't have one of those guys.
Like teams don't have multiple guys like that. It's usually a lot of, regular names and then maybe one guy. And that's, part of the reason why the Steelers have been so dominant and why, it's such an awesome thing to be here in Pittsburgh because of that element. But with Detroit, that's really what they don't, like you said, they don't have that, man.
Yeah. So that's my number two.
Man, for me, my number two is the trenches. And I say the trenches because I don't think they win consistently on either side of the ball. their O-line, I like Penei Sewell, but as a whole, I don't think that they protect Goff the best. I think he's been sacked, 22 times, which is very high, especially when you're considering our O-line, right? And at times, we don't think that our O-line is the best, but I don't feel like outside of that, what was that, Raiders game and the Bengals game, I don't feel like we've had a game since then where it's like, man, Ben is in danger. You know what I mean? Like, it hasn't been like that. Whereas you watch Goff, at times it's like, yo, that boy in danger a little bit. And in their D-line, when you talk about the flip side, you watch how teams are able to run on them. They just give up a ton of movement up front. And as a linebacker, that's the worst thing because you can't scrape, you can't see anything. Whereas when you think about our D-line, you hardly ever seeing them getting pushed back 2-3 yards, and a running back is able to get 2 or 3 yards before being touched initially. When I watch the Lions, offensive line and D-line, those seem to be the issues to me.
Yeah, so you already said my third one. Jared Goff, limited quarterback. He's not, if anything, it just goes to show how Stafford was good for the Lions and was able to keep them somewhat relevant. I'm still not going to go head over heels on Stafford and say like he's
front runner for MVP. You know that's what people are saying, man.
I know people are saying that. Wow. How do I want to phrase it? Do you think it though? I just need to see more from him. I need to see clutch moments in the playoffs. That's really it. But like in terms of worst case right now, I think what we're seeing from Stafford is he could be like Matt Ryan, lead the team to the playoffs, get them on playoff runs.
Well, remember, Matt Ryan did take a team to a Super Bowl as well.
And he did win an MVP in a regular season.
And should have won it if they do what they're supposed to do in the second half.
No, right. So that's what I'm seeing from Stafford, but it just shows that, man, he kept the Lions afloat. And you look back on some of their records, like, they're 8-8, 9-7 some of these seasons. Well, they did have better personnel at the time, but it goes back to what I said in my first point, just the Lions organization as a whole. It doesn't really seem to matter what players you have there. It's going to be tough sledding.
It's a Detroit thing, man.
But not, you go from Stafford to Goff. Goff's just a little bit more limited, and you talk about him getting sacked. I mean, it is the offensive line, but also we could also question Goff's decision-making, too, about getting the ball out quick, because even with the offensive line for us, Ben knows when to get the ball. Exactly. He's got that timing right. Goff doesn't have the it factor, I guess you could say, the feel.
He doesn't. And when we talked about Goff before, even when he was getting a lot more praise, we would say, man, a lot of that is the product of Sean McVay being in his ear. And we talk about how they go hurry up in terms of tempo, but they're not snapping it fast. It's just so that way McVay can watch it, scan the field, and tell him where to go with the ball. Now you see him without that crutch and how long he has to hold the ball to process these things. And it's really starting to expose him now.
Yeah. What do you got for 3?
All right, well, hold on. Let's look in the chat, too, to see, man, the 3 things that people don't like about the Detroit Lions. All righty. Make sure I get up enough. Okay, here we go. All right. Owner. Coin flips, quarterbacks, and coaches. They ain't feeling that coin flip. Myron Bennett says the wide receivers, not a fan of. The secondary or Jared Goff.
Organization Goff the Water.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
What's I ain't that think
about Flint. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Darius Mayo says offense is inconsistent. The offensive coordinator's play calling. And he says the D-line doesn't generate enough pressure. Yeah, he's right on.
Miles Harrington, Jared Goff, defense, and then also Jared Goff. Newman says lack of stars, secondary, and then Jared Goff. So that was like two of my 3.
And then Miles Harrington, who brought us today's negative news. Shout out to Miles, though. We got love for you. Says Jared Goff, the defense, and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Not a lot of Goff fans in the building, man.
Random guy says they have no wide receivers. That's true, too.
Yeah. And then DeLorean Waters says Jared Goff, the wide receiver room. And then he combos the linebackers and defensive backs. All right, okay.
Man, a lot of people hate on Goff. I know we had him in ours, but to just say Goff on that, like if they had better players, maybe they wouldn't be as bad, or maybe he wouldn't look as bad. I do think he's limited, though. It's like a Jimmy G situation for me.
See, to me, I think Jimmy G is better, though. Jimmy G seems to feel better.
He probably is, but I'm just saying if like Goff was in that situation, the team might be better. He might not look as bad.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Jimmy G would look better even in Detroit right now in that situation than Goff. And I don't think Goff could go into Jimmy G's situation with the Niners and keep them how they, because think about with Jimmy G, bro, he wins a ton, which is crazy, right? Because we talk about how limited he is, but he wins like a lot. You look at it's a lot, you know? And I think like with Goff, I just don't know if he would have that same type of factor. Because even with Dagon, I'm drawing a blank.
Shanahan, McVay?
Yeah, with Shanahan, he's still not going to call it for him like McVay would. He's going to scheme it up nice, and the West Coast offense is going to be that timing and stuff like that. But to me, I just think that Goff, he's still behind the 8 ball in terms of how he sees things. Whereas Jimmy G sees the field well, and he understands his limitations. And I think that's why he's able to keep teams afloat and just continue to win.
Fair. What do you got for 3?
I did my 3. That was on you. Yeah, because now we're switching over.
Which one was your 3rd?
Oh, you're right. So for me, my 3rd was no studs. Like in terms of like star players, I just feel like they have good players, right? Like I like Alex Anzalone. I like DeAndre Swift. I like those type of players, right? But those players are still limited right now. You know what I mean? Like Swift, they have a little bit more optimism about him, but when you talk about like Trey Flowers is their highest paid guy, or he was. I don't know if
talking
he's still
about benching him,
right? But it's like he's not even playing like that. To me, Charles Harris is playing at a better clip and being more productive. That's at number 53 for them. So when I think of them as a whole, I'm just like, they don't have a guy. Like every team, you just need a guy. Like on offense, they got TJ Hawkinson. I like him. He's a guy, but it's just one of them. And you see, they try to utilize him a lot, but if you play certain coverages and you focus on him, they take him away. That's what Philly did. They said, okay, you're hitting him early. All right, we're going to get him out of here. Now you got to go somewhere else with the ball. And Goff, that's where he's going to struggle. So to me, that's the other thing. They just don't have studs, A-type players right now, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Hawkinson, I think it's DeAndre Swift too. Are they the top 2 receivers for the Lions? And that just goes to show you their other receivers used to be Tyrell Williams. They cut him. Yeah. But it's Khalif Raymond, St. Brown. Who's their 3rd guy? I'm trying to even look on this depth chart here. Hodge, Trinity Benson. Like it could be a combination of any of these dudes at any given time, but I don't even know these dudes. I really don't.
Well, I will say on defense, they do have one other guy. Because Penei Sewell on offense, we do think he can grow into a guy. He's playing well, but he's not the guy like that just yet, right? But he'll grow into that. But they do have one other guy who actually is a star. He actually is impressive. And he's actually one of my favorite Detroit Lions.
Okay.
He goes by the name of Dean Marlowe, number 31. JMU Duke, baby. I see you. So, yes, I got love for the Detroit Lions this week because my dog Dean.
He used to play on another team too, huh?
You know how we roll? Come on, baby. He was with the Carolina Panthers when they went to the Super Bowl. I was over there rooting for the Panthers. Come on, dog. Get you one, man. Get you one. Yeah.
I did see his name whenever I'm looking through Lions roster and stuff.
So you know I got love for my dog. Dean, that my JMU partner right there. So yes.
Oh, who else they have? Mark Gilbert.
Uh-oh. They did pick up Mark, yeah.
Revenge game.
What could have been?
Could it be another guy where we come in on the topic on Monday? Did Steelers make a mistake releasing Mark Gilbert?
Or is he going to hit us with the Cassius Marsh? Pick 6 and he kicks the ball into the end zone.
If anything, though,
gets a flag, man.
Looking back on that Bears game, I'm actually surprised Marsh actually did some stuff.
Yeah, he played well.
You get what I mean?
He played well, man.
I still don't think it's a mistake getting rid of him, though.
Definitely getting rid of Cassius?
Yeah.
No, heck no, we ain't going there. But he definitely made plays, though. Like, that was the funny part after the game where everybody was, like, really bashing him. Oh, yeah, Killers Cassius Marsh, best player on the deal. I'm like, bro, you watch the tape, that boy, he was out there. He was low-key. He was getting his, man.
I checked the tapes again, too. Mm-hmm. I do think that was taunting.
Okay.
As much as I still hate the taunting rule, I do think... Mm-hmm. He went over to the sidelines. He was staring us down for a little extra there. And if you want to compare that to some of the other taunting calls that they've been calling and the new emphasis they have on it, that is the new letter of the rule. I still think their whole emphasis on it is absolutely BS, but I think that was taunting, actually.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I think it was still a bullshit rule. Yeah. It really is. Because remember in the preseason, we saw the one that dude get up and all he did was flex his muscles.
Yeah.
For that, I didn't think that was intended for anyone. Marsh was looking at the only reason I said as our punt team's coming out.
The only reason I said that run was because when he flexed, the dude was right in front of him. That's it. Whereas with Marsh's, the punt team's coming out, but he's not even looking at any of the punt team players. I mean, Presley Harvin runs right by him.
It looked like he was looking at the Steelers' sideline though. Like he was
he was definitely facing that direction though. Yeah.
So I get what the ref was seeing. I definitely do. Like, it's one thing, do your kick, celebrate teammates, get off the field, but he was doing a little something extra, and I don't blame him. I don't care. That shouldn't be called taunting. I mean, we talked about this. Tyreek Hill doing the peace sign, that's cool to me. I mean, it's part of the game. But with this new NFL emphasis, he threw the flag. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL doesn't find the ref or just like lets it go, because I think the ref was actually in the right based off the NFL's new emphasis on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I checked because whenever I watched the game live, I didn't really get to see any of it. I was just surprised they call it taunting. Yeah. And whenever I watched the game the next day, I didn't really get to see the replay of it because I was just watching the condensed version. Right. I just heard Marsh's interview on the radio. So whenever I look back on something, I'm like, yeah, he is kind of like doing a little extra there, looking at the sidelines. Yeah. But he played better than I guess we would have thought though.
It was the revenge game, bro.
Got signed like that week.
It was the revenge game, bro. You know he had to show. You knew you was there too. He was trying to show you up, let you know what was going on.
I didn't even know he was on the field. Though.
Yeah, man. He was like, "Yo, you gonna know about me?" Did you cheer for him when he made a play though? That's the real question.
No.
Were you like?
I already told you. I didn't even know he was on the field.
Like, I love you, Cassius. I thought you was. You know what I mean? I ain't tripping if that's what you know.
Do we want to get into the three things we like?
Yes. But before we do that, Sam Fasumanu. I know he was saying he just saw him in the chat. He says, "Hey, can you give a shout out to my beloved Marine Corps? I'm a Marine Corps veteran." Yes, Sam, we actually started off the show with that, man. Happy 246th birthday to the Marine Corps. And definitely appreciate your service as well, man. So yes, indeed. Enjoy today's show, baby. But yes, definitely got you, partner. Definitely got you. All righty. So yeah, let's start with the three. Now we'll transition to three things that we do like about the Detroit Lions. So in the chat, let us know the three things that you guys like about the Detroit Lions when you've watched them, or, you know, yeah, we'll go from there. So for me, first thing I said in terms of what I like, I couldn't even say like whole groups or, oh, I like their rush. I like this. It was like, I got to get specific. Right. I like that player, and that player. All right. So first thing I like is Dean Marlowe. Second thing is Dean Marlowe. And the third thing is number 31, Dean Marlowe. I don't know if y'all, this is a JMU guy, you know, go Dukes, play safety, baller, you know.
I didn't recognize the name.
Oh, you didn't? This is Dean Marlowe, you know, kind of like Dean Martin, you know what I mean? But this is Dean Marlowe, you know, he's a JMU guy. Just remember that. Go Dukes.
So that's all three of yours?
Nah, I mean, yeah, but I'll give you my back. I had three backups though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So my three backups to Dean Marlowe, and Dean Marlowe. Alex Anzalone. I like him, man. Going back to when he was with the Saints, athletic guy, rangy a little bit, and just almost in terms of how he gets his productivity, I feel like it's more so just on the spot, right? Right time, right place, and things like that. Very similar to kind of like how Spillane had some of his splashier plays and stuff. But to me, I don't like him in this role as the main guy. I like him a lot if he was paired with somebody a little bit more high end. But as a whole, I do think that he is their best linebacker right now in terms of the inside. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna group some of the positions together. I guess this makes sense. The non-receiver skill positions on offense. Mm-hmm. I guess I could phrase it that way. Yeah. So Hawkinson at tight end.
Oh yeah, can't forget him.
And I like the running backs.
Huh. Okay.
Not each individually, but as a whole, collectively, because DeAndre Swift, he's not doing as well on the ground, but he's like one of their main pass catchers right now.
I think he's second on the team in receiving. Yeah, behind TJ. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but he gets a lot of yards after the catch. So it's not like a Jalen Samuel situation where he's just catching it and getting hit, and it's only like a 2 or 3 yard gain. He's making plays afterwards, so you got to give him credit there. And then Jamal Williams, he has a very limited role, kind of like what he was doing with the Packers, but
he's good running the rock.
He's like 4.3, 4.5 yards a carry.
He's like 380 or something like that on the ground.
Yeah, he's really efficient. Every time he is getting the ball, I'm seeing him make plays and be physical.
He has like 20 less carries than Swift, because I think Swift is around 90 carries, and I think he's at like 70, 77 or something like that.
That's what I mean. As a whole, those two running backs, I think they could pose problems for a defense. Now, I know their rushing attack is in the bottom of the league right now, but if I'm envisioning a way the Steelers kind of mess this up, that could be it. We get Jamal Adams, 10-yard run here, there. They're dumping it off to DeAndre Swift. Yeah. He's making our dudes miss. We're missing tackles. Same thing. Even these receivers, like, I don't really think any of these guys are good, but if Jared Goff's checking it down, Khalif Raymond, he's pretty fast enough. He can make a dude miss and either take it to the house, take it for a big gain, or they're switching the field on us. Yeah. So that's how I could see them posing problems for us, even though you're not going to be like online praising the Lions like running back. Correct. Or not the running back, their rushing attack just as a whole. But I think those two guys aren't bad together as a tandem. And then you combine TJ Hawkinson, dude. He's legit tight end, man. I mean, he's like top 6-7 in the league, I would say.
Like legit, man. Legit. All right. So for me, did you name all three or was that quick, bro?
Those are no. That's one.
That was just okay.
That's one.
Yeah. I was like, say, man, threw me off for a second, but we're good. We're good. Yeah. So for me, man, my second thing is, or the second player is Penei Sewell, the left tackle. Now, I do like him a lot, man. He moves really well, like his physicality. He is the bright spot to that O-line. I think the O-line would have been a lot different if Decker was there, but with him not being there, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, but to me, man, I like Penei a lot, though. So he's the second guy for me.
Well, I'm with you on Sewell. I have him as number 2 as well. Made the transition to left tackle.
Are you looking on my? Are you looking?
I'm not at all,
man. I'm about to block you, man.
But here could be the problem. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen these injury reports. Decker might be back this week.
I've seen it.
So they're going to move Sewell back to right tackle, which is amazing for us.
No, see, this is my thing, man. I would much rather TJ have Matt Nelson, bro.
Oh, sure. Sure.
To me, Penei, I do think that he's improved. Like, not in terms of like, oh man, him as a right tackle is improved. But what I'm saying is just now, the more he plays at the NFL level, I do think he's starting to feel and understand that part. So even though the footwork element would change, I just think that he's going to still be a lot tougher than what Matt Nelson could be. I mean, I look at Matt and I'm just like, bruh, you just got to make it to the stadium, please. Because if you make it to the stadium, oh, baby, we will all be happy. But he has to, Decker, another week, man. Another week.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is, no, you're good. It's a good point, because I was going to say if Decker's in against Highsmith, that kind of poses a problem. Right. But like, I guess no, you're right. I guess we just don't want him back at all.
Yeah, I just don't.
We don't, because their line as is right now. Yeah. But I'm thinking Penei Sewell at left tackle. Maybe he could pose a little bit of a test to Highsmith versus Decker just coming back. Because I think TJ is going to cook either way.
Yeah, my thing is this, man. It's like, when I think of Decker, though, even though it would him just be coming back, he's still a veteran player. And typically veteran players, like, it doesn't take long for them to get reacclimated and ready to go and up to speed. It's usually with your younger guys where, all right, if they've missed a substantial amount of time when they first get back, you got to be a little careful with those guys. With Decker, I think he'll be fine.
I just thought back to the preseason game where Ingram was cooking Sewell. So I'm just like, man, if TJ's over there, bro.
Same, man. Yeah.
But you're right. If it's this Wilson dude, I'm sure TJ won't have any problems as well.
Yeah.
It'd just be a nice matchup. It'd be a spicy thing maybe to post on Instagram. TJ gets a nice little move, a little spin move, cuts between Sewell and maybe the right guard or something like that, gets a sack. Could be a nice little Instagram highlight.
Yeah.
Even, I don't know if a rookie tackle necessarily helps his case for Defensive Player of the Year, but I'm just saying. What other high caliber matchup are we going to have in this game, though, to talk about?
I don't even care if it's a high caliber. Just go out there and give 4 of them things. We weren't talking about, man, who was TJ going against last week? No, it was like, you got 3 of them things. That's all that matters, baby. So he need to go out there and do it again.
For sure. You got 3?
I do, man. So for me, my third one, you already brought him up, TJ Hawkinson, man. He's a legit tight end 1. He can run every route, sure-handed, physical too, man. I mean, he took a shot early in that Eagles game where almost blew his leg out. Got right back up, was not tripping at all, man. I like his game a lot. He was a part of the duo, though. Him and, was it Noah Fant when they came out together? That's crazy. That's crazy. They were teammates, bro.
George Kittle from Iowa too.
Yeah, like it's nuts, man. Shout out to the Iowa tight ends, man. I even think about my man Scott Chandler taking it back to my Buffalo days. We had one.
Okay, so my third one is the team's fight. Sticking around in games. They actually
do. I know even the Eagles game, even though the score got out of hand, you're right. They compete, man.
So San Francisco, they were down big early. Mm-hmm. They came back. The score ended up being 41-33. Mm-hmm. Green Bay, tough in the first half. They kind of let it slip in the second half. But that Monday night game at Green Bay, it wasn't that bad of a blowout. Baltimore should have beat Baltimore.
Seriously.
Chicago, close game too, 24-14. Minnesota should have beat Minnesota as well.
They should have.
Who we consider a halfway decent team. Minnesota almost should have bet Baltimore last week.
Yeah.
But then they've started slipping a little bit since he kind of brought it to him. But then even the Rams game, that first half, they were playing with the Rams. They pulled out all the stops.
Yeah.
I mean, the special team shit was just like out of control that they were pulling with all those fakes. But they kind of held their own in the first half in the Rams game, but then the Rams just kind of showed that they were the better team. Mm-hmm. And the Eagles got a little out of hand, but a large majority of the games, I almost look back to the Bears. The Bears beat some decent teams. They've been in some of these games. I know there was a blowout against the Bucs, but we saw how the Bears game ended for us. Like it was close. It came down to the wire. Even if the fumble punt doesn't happen, we end up winning the game by 10. If all goes well for us and it goes how the rest of the game is, like that's not like a blowout. That's competing. Yeah. So that's something I'll say about the Lions. Even though they're 0-8, they can still compete. You just never know.
I can respect.
Like the Ravens are the best record in the AFC right now.
That's and crazy part. Yeah,
they basically beat them. Like I can't say that completely because Justin Tucker's a damn good player, but really,
if you're forced there from 66 to win it, like just think how extreme that sounds, man. They had to hit from 66 to get it.
Yeah. So that's what I have. Their fight, their non-skill position offensive player. Or no. Does that make sense? They're non-receiver skill position players. Yeah. Tight end and running backs. That's a group together.
The non-pretty,
and we both have
non-pretty skill position players.
Yeah, and we both have Sewell. So those are both of our three.
Oh, man, I like that, man. Did we go? I'm trying to think. Did we ask the chat about the three that they like?
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't remember if we did, but either way, let us know in the chat the three things that y'all do like as Deke goes through to see if those three things are already there or not. Not a sheep. Shout out to me, man. He says dope hoodie moats, man. Appreciate it. This is a root. What is it? Root of Fight. Yeah, man. They've been around for a little while now. But yeah, this is like I was still playing in Pittsburgh when this is 2014, 15, baby. But nah, shout out to them, man. Yeah. No promo code, but just type in moats, see what happens.
I'm not seeing anything. This chat's pretty random right now.
Okay.
I'm saying, do we put a 50 burger on them from Slim Easy?
Oh, that's what we doing?
Shout out to all the Lions fans from Not a Sheep.
Okay.
He says you put the L into loyalty.
Okay.
Bro. Dude.
I did see like all these burgers Packers, from Slim Easy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He said put up a 50 burger.
Oh, no, are we flirting with Tomlin game? Oh, Lord. Are we too confident?
All right, we got some three. I guess we didn't ask because they're coming in right now. Okay. Logan Newman saying, number 1, Penei Sewell. 2, Dan Campbell. He must like
the motivation,
his grittiness.
Yeah, he guys got the motivation.
And maybe that's a part of why they haven't been giving up.
Yeah, because you definitely see them playing hard for him, which is a good sign. Yeah.
I just don't think they necessarily have the personnel
you can play
to close out. And when we talk about Goff, it goes back to the three things we don't necessarily like about him. And he has Swift Hawkinson.
That always reminds me when people are like, it doesn't matter how big the dog is in the fight. It's about how much fight is in the dog. I said, yeah, until it's a Rottweiler and that's a little Shih Tzu. It don't matter. That little shut it up. So, yeah.
Zig Shazier says, number 1, Swift. 2, TJ Hawkinson. 3, Sewell. Ivan Victor.
Okay.
He says the running backs, Penei Sewell, TJ. Also, shout out to Dan Campbell's passion and love for the game. This is kind of stuff we're talking about.
You seen him crying after the game. Like, I'm not going to lie. That is kind of dope, you know? And speaking from personal experience, because my first year in the league, we started out 0-8, but it was kind of like how the Lions were. We weren't getting blown out. We had lost 3 games consecutively in overtime. We were losing to high quality teams at that, you know? And it was just kind of like, dang, man, we're so close. We're always on the edge of this thing. And I mean, we had Chan Gailey, who's like the opposite of Dan Campbell. He's like introvert, super just one way the whole time. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, you question, like, all right, not saying that Coach Gailey didn't care, because I definitely know he cared 100%. But when you're in those situations, you wonder, like, are you like cool with this situation, or like are you hurt? Are you passionate about this? So seeing Dan in the midst of some of these things still be that passionate, where he's drawn to tears in a press conference, which is kind of like the opposite of Joe Judge, you know what I mean? Who tries to do like the whole tough guy thing. Like, I like that a lot about Dan. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
And SMC99 says Swift, Sewell, and Hawkinson.
Yeah, okay.
This one's interesting. This is from Stephanie Ramirez.
Oh, shout out to Stephanie Ramirez. Is that OG Stephanie Ramirez, Love and Madden Stephanie Ramirez?
Yeah.
But like flavor of Deke, you know? Or are we looking for that's Stephanie Ramirez, right? The number one banner supporter,
yeah,
Stephanie Ramirez. Hey Stephanie, we missed you. Hope all is well.
It says Cody White reminds me of Nate Washington. That's an interesting take.
Okay.
Nate Washington was actually pretty good as a third receiver for us.
He was. I like Nate.
He was a speedster. That's what I mean. He had some speed.
I thought he played way faster. Yeah. Cody doesn't strike me as
he ain't as lanky
blazer
either.
Yeah. And Nate did his thing in Tennessee too. Yeah.
He did. He had a couple good seasons down there.
Dang, I ain't seen Nate since, man. It's been a minute. I gotta holler at my dog, man.
Hopefully you're right on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it though.
Okay.
And I'm looking for a couple more. DeLorean Waters. They never give up. They've been in so many close games. Yeah. 2 Swift, 3 Hawkinson.
No, the heart they play. They got.
We're all on the same page here. It looks like.
Yeah. Like I said, because for me, when we go after, like when we name Sewell, when we name Hawkinson, we talk about the duo of Williams and Swift. The next thing you start doing, like, it's a cliff it drops to, because I'm like, okay, Alex Anzalone, I like him. He's versatile. He does some of the things. Next is Charles Harris. I'm like, all right, he plays with good speed over there, but you see, it's a legit drop off to those type of guys. But since they got Dean Marlowe, that's all that matters. Shout out to my dog, JMU, in the house. Let's go.
I'm seeing Jericho Cotchery being brought up too.
As a comparison?
I don't know about for Cody White, but as like a third receiver, he had a good season for us.
No,
he had like 13 touchdowns or double-digit touchdowns.
Jericho was a legit receiver in this league for a while, though. You think about it, like, what was it? He was at the Jets first. Yeah, like Jericho was good.
I was not expecting to have the season he did with us, but kudos to him.
Yeah,
he was kind of underrated.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's it. I'm seeing a lot of the same thing, though. Swift Hawkinson, this is from Zand. Swift Hawkinson, Dan Campbell in his heart.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get back to the supers then. Let's see what we have on this end. But we do have a new upper room member, Richard Stanton. Richard Stanton, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Definitely appreciate your support. And just a quick update, as a new upper room member, every Tuesday from 12:20 to about 12:50, we have Zach Banner. He pulls up on the show, call it Zach Banner Tuesdays. But as a member, you're able to actually be on those calls live when they're happening and ask questions. I mean, you talk to some of the people in the chat, they'll tell you, man, you ask the question. We ask the big man, he answers it for you, man, right on the spot. So it's a dope thing. We also, after every game, you go to the YouTube community page, right on the page. I'm going to put a phone number up in that thing, all right? After the game, you know, in the midst of your research and the midst of your celebrating, you call in, leave a voicemail, get an opportunity to have it played on the next live show, man. So those are some of the perks of being an upper room member. So we greatly appreciate you. And you might want to check out the new upper room member shirt since you were part of the squad now. So yeah.
No, definitely. So I'm at Barilla 92.
Okay, so yeah, you're down a little bit. All right, but not too far though, so you're good.
Cool.
All right, so Q, when we were talking about 3 things that we like and don't like about the Lions, the 3 things that he didn't like, he says the franchise, Jared Goff, and the defense. 3 things that I think we could all agree upon. Why is their franchise like that? It's crazy when you talk about like the Steelers or even like the Ravens, right? We talk about like the Cowboys to an extent. Certain organizations, they just seem like they're ran better, right? Whereas when you talk about Detroit, it's like, well, why haven't you had that? Like, how do you have this happen multiple times where you're 0-7? I mean, they were the first team to go 0-16. Like, how do you get that to that extent? Like, could you imagine Steelers ever getting to there right there, man?
Not like, the Steelers, but I mean, we deal with it with the Pirates year in and year out, so it can happen.
It's crazy. But that's money related, man. Chill out.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, even you have the Bengals. Like, I think we'd all consider them not that good run of an organization. Even like the Jaguars.
Yeah, dude.
They had little runs and stuff. Whereas like the Lions really haven't. They made the playoffs, I think, 2 times in Stafford's tenure there. And they were one and done.
Yeah.
They're one and done both times. And they've pretty much been around 7-9, 8-8. Some seasons they were like 4-12, 5-11, depending on if Stafford got hurt or not.
Right.
That's what they've been over the past, 15 or so years. They were 0-16 before they drafted him, obviously, but
it's crazy, man.
It really hasn't been that much better. But even that's what I'm saying. Even organizations outside of like the Cleveland Browns have sustained that type of terribleness for like 20 years.
That's a nice way to put it. The sustained terribleness. I don't think I've ever heard those two things put together in a sentence before.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even the Jaguars have bounced back, had a couple runs. Like, even the Texans made the playoffs for stretches of years.
Yeah. I mean, when they had Andre Johnson, was that who's the quarterback down there with Andre? Was that
Schaub?
No, Schaub. That's what it was. Yep.
They had Schaub.
Because they've been relevant the first one. Then they went Schaub after that.
Yeah, Carr was no good.
Yeah,
Schaub. They had some seasons.
Even when they transitioned to Deshaun Watson, they started winning too.
No, but they had some bums make, like Osweiler, even making the playoffs. That was, I think, more of a case of the bad division. But them, Jaguars, Bengals, even being a bad franchise, had some runs with Dalton. Now it seems like they're at least competitive again. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude, Lions, I'd say Lions and Browns. And it seems like Browns are at least back to relevancy now. Yeah.
It's interesting, man. Interesting.
I'm trying to think of any other, like, NFL franchises. Raiders, kind of, but the
Raiders went to a Super Bowl 10. Was it? No, 20.
Oh, that was a while back. That's what I mean. 02. Since then,
but like with Detroit, when has Detroit even in that frame? That's what I'm saying. Like, and then hold on, the Raiders that was when Carr got hurt though.
That's what I mean.
They were hot that season though.
They've been like 8-8 since. They might make the playoffs this year. I'd say it was slightly better. Maybe
I don't think the Raiders have had. Man, we can't think of the 8-8 is different than going 0-16, then having another 0-7 season. Like, they've had multiple seasons where they are like legit laughing stock of the league, bro. The Raiders have had some bad seasons. It ain't been like that.
Beating us on some of their worst seasons.
Like we come on, baby.
That might be it though.
Yeah,
that might be it off the top of my head right now. Cowboys.
I mean, you got to know because remember Dez Bryant game when with him and Romo, they were still winning.
Yeah, I know because they've never been. The only time they've gotten to like 4-12 is whenever like Romo got hurt or like Dak. They've always been 7-9 or 8-8.
Quincy Carter year, and that kind of hurt. Quincy hurt.
Yeah, you can't say the Giants. They've had runs with Eli.
Jets too. Jets went when they had Ryan. Yeah.
Oh, although that's a pretty good comparison. Like they've hit the lows of the line.
They have, but they still have had a lot.
Right. It goes back to my Jaguars point. At least they hit some AFC championships and stuff and been somewhat relevant. Even with Darnold, they were like 7-9. Now, that's what I'm saying. With Stafford, the Lions were around that at points.